Hello there, it's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. Hey, I am locked and loaded and wanting to play today. I came out here in the art room. Last time when I shut off the video, I started gluing, just some collage pieces onto my pages. And, when I got done with the video, I thought, wow, that was stupid. I just smeared paint and it looked ugly and blah, blah, blah. I come out here today and this is dried and I was just in love with this page. I'm like, wow, when you slap something down and you come back the next day, it's just a whole different look. Beautiful in your eyes. I had this old book spine I glued to the flap of this envelope. These are envelopes, but I'm not going to close them. I'm just going to leave them open as part of my pages. Some of these envelopes I have glued shut, and it'll all just be a page, and some of them I have left open for a pocket. But I'm just going through I just dug out of my big drawer back here and got me a great big old bin. I just put a handful in there, and I'm just going through here and grabbing stuff out of it and just flipping and just randomly, sticking. This is something I had sewn and on an old coffee filter, and it was ripped up and stuck in there, so I glued it on the edge. We got a page stuck here. Just literally, I laid this edge of this flap down like it was a flap like this, and I just crumpled it and glued it and laid it down for texture. I have some tissue paper here I glued on. Just went through and started randomly sticking. So I thought, okay, I want to continue that with you guys today. Let's just go through and just start randomly sticking, just adding another layer. Nothing here is making sense, and I don't want it to. I just want to play. Now, this is my back page. This is going to be my front page. So I think I'm going to glue this one shut. So anyway, I'm going to get stuff out, and we are going to start playing. Now, what I did the other day was I noticed that Beatrice Helton, she was putting some of her, whatever this is, nickel azo gold. She was saying, wow, that kind of makes it look antique-y. So I started rubbing that. I said, whoa, hey, I got some of that. So when I did some of mine on this page, I was squirting it out and just rubbing it around, just playing. That's all I'm doing. I'm just playing like a kid. I'm just playing. And this was really white, so I just squirted some on my table and watered it down and swashed it all over it. And oh my gosh, it does. It makes it look old and grungy. So I'm going to keep this out as part of our little drugs of choice. And let's just play. Let's see if we can move in. I think right there looks good. Okay, so let's just start playing. It's almost 2 o'clock here, and I'm still in my pajamas, and I'm just now getting around. Yesterday, I had a absolute crazy day, but I made it. Today, I feel really good about it. I'm exhausted, but I feel really good about it. I did not freak out. I stayed in control. Yes, it was stressful, but I didn't go into freak out mode. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get it at the perfect place. And we'll see if it stays clear and doesn't get blurry. So I'm going to tell you what I did. You'll probably be an anxious mess by the time I'm telling you, because it was crazy. So I have this little old lady that I couldn't say no to. And she asked me, she does not drive. She's never driven in her life. She's 80 some years old. And she asked me if I would take her for 5 weeks into town for physical therapy. And, you know, of course, her kids can't do it, so we got to call Amy. That's just how I roll, because I'm the nice one and I cannot say no. I said, yes, I'll take you. So yesterday was her day for therapy. You know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to get this. I have a little plastic bowl somewhere. So I also have this other little lady. She's 95. And of course, her son doesn't do everything for him because he works, you know, and she doesn't want to bother him, yada, yada, yada. So I had also told her, she said she was going to go out of town for the day, and the dogs were going with her. Would I come and bug bomb her house? And of course, I said yes. So they're both on the same day. I have a key to the 95-year-old lady's house because I used to be her gardener and now I have become her house cleaner. So I have a key to her house and I was going to go before, okay, my other lady has to be at physical therapy at 11. So I was going to run in to Bug Bomb Lady's house and put her cat in her camper and set off the bug bombs. And then I was going to run back to Andover. Okay, we're talking about 3 towns here. I live in Augusta. The lady that needs to go to physical therapy lives in Andover. And the bug bomb girl lives in Wichita. So I was going to go set off the bug bombs. I was going to go in Wichita, drive back to Andover in time to pick up the little lady and get her to physical therapy. While she was at physical therapy, I was going to run to Sam's and pick up what I needed for my home at Sam's. And then I was going to run over and open up the house from the bug bombs being set off. And then take the lady back from physical therapy to Andover. Okay, so I had my time figured out how I needed to time all this. Well, the day before, I had gotten an earache. I've never in my life had my ear hurt. Never had an ear infection, never had an earache. I just don't. Besides the Lyme thing, I just do not get sick. I just don't. So the day before, I had gotten my ear hurt. And it was hurting when I swallowed. I was just nervous that my doctor's office is closed on Fridays. And I was worried to go through the weekend, you know, with... I didn't know if my ear would make it. I had an appointment for next Thursday. Yesterday was Thursday. I had an appointment for next Thursday to go into the doctor. I was thinking, should I try to go with this painful ear until next Thursday? Or is my eardrum going to rupture? Do I need to see a doctor? You know, I didn't know. So I had called the doctor, and guess what? Well, we can get you in on Thursday at 2:30. Great. That's the day I'm doing everything. I took it because they're not open on Friday and I didn't want to go the weekend. So here's how the day really happened. I run in to start the bug bombs. I get there and guess what? Dumb thug Amy doesn't have the key to the lady's house. I forgot it at home. I just grabbed my wallet and went to town and didn't get my purse in which the key to the lady's house resides. So I try to call her and say, what's your garage code? Because I could go in through the garage. I can't get a hold of her. So I call her son at the coffee shop that he owns, because surely he knows her garage code. I don't get a hold of the son. So I go ahead and head back to Augusta to pick up the darn key that I forgot. Well, this puts me behind schedule, because so now I have to go straight from getting the key over to pick up the lady to go to physical therapy. So I go pick her up and take her to physical therapy. And then while she's in physical therapy, I run over and start the bug bombs. So that's 2 trips I've made back home and back to Wichita. So I start off the bug bombs. I run back and get the lady from physical therapy. I have not made it to my Sam's appointment because, to get my stuff, because I'm off. My schedule's thrown off. I take the little lady back to Andover from physical therapy, and then I run back into Wichita and do my Sam's shopping. And then I run back over to the bug bomb lady's house. It's now been 2 hours, and I'm able to open up all the windows and get it aired out. And then I open up all the windows and I run back to Andover for my doctor's appointment. And then I have to run back to Wichita to the bug bomb lady's house after my doctor's appointment. And I have to now clean her house because, I don't want her to bring her dogs back home into the bug bomb area. So I completely clean her house, counters, mop the floors, yada yada. This has now been 4 trips back and forth to Wichita, to another town. I am now pushing up daisies. I was exhausted. Let's try another color instead of that one, just to try something else. I want something kind of translucent so you can see everything. I'm just wanting the grunge effect. So I was exhausted yesterday. Normally, just cleaning a house knocks me down, and I have to come home, and sleep the rest of the night, and the next day, I'm down for the count. I came home, sat in a bath of Epsom salts for over an hour, to the point where I had to empty the water and put more hot water in it. And so today I didn't get up until 11. I got up, got husband lunch packed and seen him off to work this morning, but then went right back to bed. And I noticed when I woke up at 11, he had tried to call me twice. I called him and he was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I just got up, and he's like, I was worried because I couldn't get a hold of you. So I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, no problem. Just making sure you're okay." So, yeah, my body's exhausted today, but my spirits are high. So I'm excited. I wanted to come out and do a video, so I'm feeling good. Now, I'm gonna dry all this because I'm sticking to the table. Okay, now, I have this little rag that I wipe my brush off on all the time, and it is quite grungy, and I think I want to start using some of this. I think it's time for a new rag, and I need to start using this on stuff. So I don't really want it straight, though. I wish I could make it cockeyed and crumbly. Yeah, that's cool, like that. There we go. Yeah, we'll just tear it up a little bit. I don't want it straight. Okay. It's nice because it's rotten. It was an old tea towel, in the house that got stained up, and I brought it out here to use it for rags. And I want to put it, okay, this here is frayed, so I think I'm going to put it here. Just let it be tattered and hang off here on this side. So let's glue that on there. Here we go. It just is so fun to play. It's just fun. I'm going to set up a class, and I'm trying to decide right now whether I want to have it on a weekday or a weekend. So this is my dilemma. If you have a class on the weekday and you've got kids in school, you're trying to get them in, you know, done, fed, in bed. If you work, that's hard to do all that. But then if you have it on a weekend and somebody has kids, then they also have ball games to get them to, and then at night you finally want to just calm down. I don't know which is the best to have a class. I don't know if the ladies that come to my class even will have children, you know. I don't know, am I going to have older ladies? Am I going to have young ladies? I don't know. I'm going to put my announcement on, if you're from Augusta page, you know, it's one of our Facebook pages that everybody in our town looks at. So I thought I would put it on that and see if I could get any interest out of that. Okay, let's glue these on. So as soon as I get over that little hurdle of when I'm going to have it, then I will go ahead and post it. I don't even know if it's legal to post it on those pages, to advertise something like that. I know people talk about, you know, oh, I got in trouble for having too many chickens, and when's this town going to get a decent Mexican restaurant, and, you know, all that stuff on there. Am I able to say, hey, I'm having an art class, would anybody be interested? Personal message me. I suppose the least that can happen is if there's a moderator, they could take my post down. It's not like they're going to throw me in jail, right? So I don't want to glue my little pocket shut. I should probably have some, what do you call it, deli paper in between these to keep them from... Oh, I know what I want to use. I want to put a little bit of this on each page. I got my fodder pages, and I hardly ever use them. I have a whole file full of it, and I wanted to put a little bit of fodder on each page. So I need to remember to do that. This is, now while I've got this wet, I think I'm going to take a strip of washi and put down through there, so you know there's a pocket there. You can't hardly see the edge. Oh, it's ripping. That's good. That's good. We like rippage. And I like to use it on the glue because otherwise this washi doesn't stick very good. So put that on there. There, you can kind of tell that's a little area for... I'm going to stick a piece of paper in there so that doesn't... Now I got to have... Just a second. I'm going to have some deli paper so that doesn't stick. Okay. Now we're ready to continue. Put us a little grunge juice on there now that I have figured this out. Let's get our brush wet. See what happens if we just dribble some on. Just smush it around here and there. That really makes our pages wet, but put a little bit over there on our cloth. I'm just going to smush it everywhere. There we go. Okay. What we got behind here? We need a little bit of grunge juice back here. That's a lot of grunge juice. Oh boy, a little bit goes a long way with this stuff. There we go. Okay, I'm going to dry that a little bit before we continue on. Okay, it's still sticky, but I'm just going to put a sheet in between them and keep going. I don't know. This is new. This tube of matte gel medium is from Walmart, and it almost has a gloss sheen to it when it's done. I don't know if it's going to be sticky or not, but guess what? This is my experimental journal, so this is the time to find out, right? This is the time to find out whether my journal pages and other things are going to stick together or not. I'm going to put a little bit of our grunge juice on this one. You know what? I think I want to use coffee on this one. Just go for a little bit of a different color. You know, actually, while I was drying this, I got to thinking, basically, I'm just doing the journaling by fives. Here, I think I'm experimenting. I'm not experimenting. Actually, this is basically a journaling by fives concept. What I'm actually doing is art therapy with myself, because I'm allowing myself to be free and not worry about anything with this one. I'm just relaxing a little more is what I'm doing. On this one, I want to use one of my Barry. He has some tea bags that he sent me with some little drawings on them of his. And I want to put one of those on here. So I'm just simply going to start putting some of this stuff on. This is really wet. My brush is really wet. That does not help with my drying process. It's really cool. Let's get some other little fodders. Well, let's just stay on our berry theme. Barry sent me these little birdies and mushrooms that he stamped onto an envelope. Let's put a mushroom on there. Well, I want to tear it. There we go. I love the pattern on these envelopes. I just do. Put one of those over here. And put a little bit of coffee. There we go. Drying. Okay, well, I do all my thinking while I'm drying. Isn't it amazing? I dribbled out some paint over here, so we might as well use it. I'm thinking, you know, I was thinking about how freeing this is making me feel. And then I thought, you guys probably see me do stuff and think, what do you mean you're freeing yourself up? Everything you do, you look free at. Yes, it may appear that I look free, but I'm not. Inside, my body is not. It's tense. It's overthinking. It's got other things going on in it, and it is not feeling free. So you can't think by watching somebody and what they do. You can't. Don't judge them by what you think you're seeing, okay? Inside of them, it can be a whole different other story, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, here is another berry picture, and I think I'm going to put it over here. And I'm just going to use the whole tea bag because I liked it. I'm not going to think about, oh, should I tear the flower out on this one? I'm just going to put the whole thing down. Whoops, which side is the right side? I think that other side is the right side. Okay. So I'm going to put it over here because it's now laying the other way. And I want to get, I don't know if my matte gel would soak through this or not, but that's why I was sticking it on the back side. Sometimes you do tissue paper and it just kind of soaks right through and you don't really have to put it on the back side. There we go. You know what I'm noticing when I do this? I had this little cutout of a heart that I had, and I put the outside paper on it. And look, I'm going to circle that. I see the word tonight in there. So I'm going to circle that. And it's wet. So I'm doing a cardinal rule here. I don't think you're supposed to use a gel pen on wet, but I did. But there. I might also take, while I'm feeling it, and while it's wet, and go around it with my Stabilo to kind of make the heart pop out a little more. There we go. Do what you feel. Okay? I was just telling a friend earlier, we are just being kids again. This is just about being a child again. It took me back. I feel like this one's done because I had already glued some stuff on there. Let's put a little bit of grunge juice on there and call this one done. It took me back to when I was a kid and I had a sand pile. And I don't know if you guys ever did things like this. It's just something I did. I'm sure every kid has done it. Did you ever just sit in your sand pile and make like a very flat surface with the sand? Go over and smooth the sand out really flat. And then you take like one of your Hot Wheel cars and you tap it down in it and make a pattern. Or you take a piece of bark and you kind of scratch through it or make the shape of the bark in the sand. And it made like this imprint, this picture. You were just exploring. You were being a kid and you were just exploring and playing, trying. Well, it's like being a kid again. It's like we're just playing. I just take a cap and, oh, I can make marks with it. And we are just going back to that childhood state again of exploring and playing. That's what my art is to me. It's not anything technical. It's not anything with a, what do you call it? You have this certain system that you use or whatever. It's not. It's just playing. So anyway, that's what it is to me. Okay? Nothing technical, nothing name brand, nothing you have to use a certain this, that, or the other. It's just, what can I find? How can I use it? Playing. There you go. My philosophical talk with you today. Do you think we'll ever use up all these little papers in our stash? Is it possible to ever use them all up? Let's get a little piece of fodder. And let's throw on a piece of material. What's this? That's cool. A little piece of rotten. Looks like maybe it used to be a yo-yo at one time or something, but now it's all rotten. So, okay. This is what we'll glue on this one. What's my timeage? Now, that clip that I threw on the end of the last video, if you happen to watch my last video, which was my first one of this, where I put the color on it, I threw a little clip in at the end where I had some volunteer muskmelons come up. Those are not, I did not just take that video, okay? That was earlier on. My poor things are dying off and going south for the fall. Matter of fact, we are supposed to be down to 26 degrees tonight, overnight. So the leaves that have barely just started to turn will probably be dropping off. That's how quick our fall is. Just this week, I've noticed the trees in town are really starting, some of the, people who have the fancy yards, so they have a certain kind of tree planted. Their trees are really just starting to turn colors, and now they will probably be falling off. Because just like that, we're down to 26. Yesterday it was 87. Today it's 26. Tomorrow's going to be 26. I don't know where to put this. Put it in the little circle. Now, let's get some grunge juice going. Put a little, make that one into a little flower. How's that? Oops, that little guy didn't get glued down. So sometimes if I put a little clip at the end, it doesn't mean that was recent. It means I just found the cute little clip back in my videos and decided to share it. All right. Okay. We may not, I am going to end this video here because we're at 35 minutes, and I'll go ahead and finish. Well, there may not be, not too much to finish off. I'll go ahead and finish it off, you know, putting little collages down, and I'll watch Beatrice and see what she's doing next in her lineup, and I will come back, and our next video will do whatever her next step is, okay? Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye. Sleeping dogs underneath my messy art room table. This one's snuggled into her little electric blanket on her doggy couch. Have a good day, everyone. Whoops. Whoops, I guess I forgot one. I have the little black kitty hanging out on the chair.